It's the Happy Families Podcast. It's the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
All this week on the Happy Families Podcast, I'm doing my best to have a no devices, no work holiday break with my family. As a result, we've brought in a special guest. Beck Delahoy is a former researcher. She now writes about parenting rather than her niche field of neuropsychiatry. She's a homeschool mum, raising her 3 kids in Melbourne with a husband of 7 years. And you can find out more about Beck with her Substack, beckdelahoy.substack.com. We'll link to that in the show notes.
Hello everyone, I'm Beck Delahoy. I'm a mum of 3 kids and I'm Justin's research assistant. I'm also a science nerd. Quick thing to know about me, before I moved into the parenting sphere, I was a research assistant studying neuropsychiatry. I was particularly focused on the way our brains react when we are thinking about ourselves. So, when I say I know a lot about how our thoughts and feelings work, I really do mean that I know a lot. But today I want to share a story about how knowing intellectually about thoughts and feelings isn't enough to control them. Now, back in high school, I learned that psychology is the study of thoughts, feelings, and behaviours. We talked about them as though they were discrete categories. Then when I got to university, we got more into the nuances of how they interact and influence each other. Then when I was doing my honours project, I gained an even greater understanding of the roles that our bodies play in our thoughts and our feelings and our behaviours. Since then, I've looked into the science even further. We now know better than ever that cortisol influences our body, which in turn drives our feelings. We've looked at the placebo effect and how our mind can alleviate symptoms in our bodies. We know more about polyvagal theory and the role of the vagus nerve in emotion regulation. We're even learning about how our gut microbiota can impact our emotions and that it has a role in mental health disorders. But intellectually knowing that the body plays a role isn't enough. When we really understand the role our bodies play in driving our thoughts and feelings, we're even more empowered to emotionally regulate ourselves. Here's what that can look like. The other day, I was driving home from a busy day and thinking about all the things I still needed to get through. I had only a few hours left before bed and a very long to-do list of things that really needed to get done. I knew that I was stressed, so I thought I should make a plan for how to tackle everything. I thought that having a plan of how I was going to get through everything on my to-do list would take the stress away. Only it didn't. I still felt stressed. Actually, I was even more stressed because I still felt stressed even with a plan. I thought it must be because my plan wasn't good enough. I kept trying to think a way out of my stress, trying to make a plan, trying to perfect it, trying to get rid of this stress. But it wasn't working. Then I remembered. I had been trying to calm my feelings through my thoughts alone, but my feelings were still hiding in my body. When our bodies are overwhelmed with feelings, we can't logically talk ourselves back to calm. We need to find where our feelings are hiding in our bodies and then work those feelings out. My body was stressed because it was flooded with cortisol. I needed to do something to calm down my fight or flight response and clear the stress hormones out of my body. Once I remembered that, I was able to do some body awareness practices. I scanned through my body and realized I was carrying tension in my jaw, doing shallow chest breathing, and had tight shoulders. Maybe you carry tension differently, but I guarantee you've got some hidden in your body somewhere. From there, I could do some relaxation exercises. I started by lengthening my breath. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. And repeat. I focused on getting the breath into my abdomen, filling my whole lungs. I could already feel my stress levels beginning to lower. Then I worked on relaxing out the tension in my jaw and shoulders. With each exhalation, I focused on relaxing those muscles. I imagined my breath carrying away the stress, like I was breathing out my tension into a river, which was carrying my worries away. After about 10 minutes of progressive relaxation and intentional breathing, I felt so much calmer. I had moved my body out of a fight or flight response and released the tension in my body. Now, I still had a huge list of things to get through, but now the logical part of my brain was back in control. no longer hijacked by the emotional part of my brain that was being fed stress and anxiety from my body. Next time you realize your emotions are building, don't just rely on your thoughts to regulate you. It might work sometimes, but if you don't locate and flush out the feelings in your body, they will continue to build. You'll be still carrying around your feelings of sad, lonely, angry, or worry, but you won't even realize they're there because they'll be disguised as tight shoulders, shallow breathing, fidgety fingers, or an elevated heart rate. And next time a stress or trigger happens, your body will be at the ready to trigger your emotional part of the brain into launching a full-body fight or flight response, which is exactly why it's so easy for us and our kids to bubble over and explode over what seems like a small issue at the end of a big day. Emotional regulation works best when you find where your feelings are hiding in your body in the first place. Becoming more aware of your body is a crucial first step. One way of doing this is doing a daily body scan in moments of relative calm. You'll be able to identify where your feelings normally hide without trying to battle your fight or flight response at the same time. Start by drawing attention to your feet, then legs. Feel for tension in your hands, arms, and shoulders. Draw your awareness to your back, to your neck, to your jaw, mouth, and forehead. Once you've found your feelings, try some progressive relaxation. Focus on one part of your body at a time, letting go of tension with each exhale. Sometimes it can help to intentionally squeeze that part of your body on your inhale so that you can really let it go when you exhale. Try doing this for about 10 minutes at a time. With practice, you'll be able to find your feelings and relax them out of your body quickly, and then be able to use this technique in moments of heightened emotions. This is also a great practice to do with kids before bed. By modeling emotional regulation in times of calm, they'll respond much easier when their own feelings are tumultuous and you're trying to co-regulate with them. Feelings hide in your body, but they don't have to stay where they can unconsciously drive your behavior. Emotional regulation tools such as body awareness and progressive relaxation can help move you back into the driver's seat, allowing you to feel empowered and in control of your body and mind again. I hope that works for you, and if you want to hear more from me, please find me at Instagram at Beck Delahoy or at Substack, beckdelahoy.substack.com. That's BeckDelahoy.
I hope you really enjoyed Beck's ideas. You can read more from Beck Delahoy at beckdelahoy.substack.com. I've been a really big supporter and fan of what she's been writing. I think she's doing great work and her voice is valuable. Beck's back again tomorrow on the Happy Families podcast.